Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Fishel, and welcome to bonus weather video number 2 for this week. And a while back, I talked about some interesting factoids about the sun, about how the angle at which the incoming radiation was coming in was more important than the distance that we were away from it, and just some other interesting, odds and ends. And there were a few that I didn't have time to get to that day, so I thought I'd do them today. And so what I'm going to do here is show you some interesting stats about the length of the day on 2 different days of the year. We're going to start off with December 21st, the shortest day of the year and the first day of winter. And I put RDU in there in the latitude column because we are between 30 degrees north and 40 degrees north latitude. So on the 21st of December, we have 9 hours and 37 minutes of daylight if you define that as the time elapsed between sunrise and sunset. As you head north, the days get progressively shorter. New York City is only a little over 9 hours, and you head up to Maine, and it's about 8 hours, and then it really drops off in a hurry. And by the time you get to 70 degrees north latitude, which is about where Barrow, Alaska is, it's completely dark. And if you head all the way up to the North Pole, it basically stays dark for 6 months. With a little bit of light leaking in around the horizon, but it's just black up there all the time. And so that is an interesting characteristic in of itself. And then, of course, as you head south, the days get longer until you get all the way down to the equator. And then, of course, in the southern hemisphere, while we're starting winter, they're starting summer. All right, so now let's go on ahead and see if we can't advance this to the next day that I want to look at, and that is June 21st. And here's what's really interesting. In this particular scenario, and really any time from March 21st until September 21st, the days get longer as you head north. So we have about 14 hours and 30 minutes of daylight in the triangle. New York City has almost 15 hours. Maine has over 16 hours. And by the time you get up to Barrow, it's light all the time. And again, the North Pole is basically light all the time from March until September, March 21st to September 21st. So during that period of time, the days get longer as you head north. The rest of the year, they get shorter as you head north. And I wasn't sure that all of you were aware of that. I always found that sort of fascinating. Okay, one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is where the sun rises and sets in the sky. Now imagine yourself lying on your back. If you were to sit up, you'd be facing south. So this blue circle there represents the sky, and I simply drew a black line across it to indicate where the middle of the sky would be. So let's start with the right one first. On December 21st, basically you would see the sun during its entire path across the sky in the southern half of the sky. Okay? And so it would never cross over into the northern half, and you'd be able to follow it rather easily. Just never a good idea to look at it directly, obviously. But on June 21st, it actually turns out that the sun rises and sets in the northern half of the sky and crosses over into the southern half for most of the day, only to come back and finish the day in the northern part of the sky, about 30 degrees from being directly east-west. So it sort of rises in the east-northeast and sets in the west-northwest. And what's interesting about that to me is that you remember the advice that you would get if you had a home thermometer, that you should put it on the north side of your house so it doesn't get any direct sunlight because we're trying to get the shade temperature. Well, that works great during the wintertime, but during the summertime, it doesn't. There is direct sunlight that hits that thermometer both early in the day and late in the day and completely distorts the reading that the temperature is giving off. We don't want to see what the sun is doing to the mercury. We want to use the mercury as a way to measure the temperature of the air, and that's why the shade temperature is always the one we're looking for. So from the period, from the spring until the fall, it is a problem with direct sunlight coming in both early in the day and late in the day and hitting that thermometer head on. Okay, so that's the bonus weather video for today. I hope you found that interesting, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back with another regular daily weathercast on Monday and another bonus weather video on Tuesday. We hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, have a great weekend.